Discord took up deep, heavy breaths as he hurried through thick foliage and Florina that blocked his path. Very little sunlight then faded forest, as the trees were so large and thick that he could keep rocking almost the light from reaching the earthly ground. His eyes, however, were adjusted to the dark, so he moved on with no hesitance. Oh, I hope I'm not too late. She doesn't usually stay for too long, his man briefly wondered as he ducked under a branch. Thanks to his long, swinging body, he could easily snake his way through any obstacle in his way. Because of this, no pony could rival his speed. As he navigated through the forest, and then again, it's not like there's any pony out there to race. Pushing aside such pointless thoughts, he arrived at his destination and quickly soared up a nearby tree. With a wistful smile, he lay down on the branch and stared at the scene below and quietly waited. A stunning white mare, skipping through the forest rarely, occasionally kneeling down, smelled some of the exotic flowers that taken bloom the warmth of spring. This was her favorite part of the forest, of the woods, as the trees line was much thicker, and allowing a great deal of sunlight to brighten the clearing. She smiled as she caught the particular zoo-like aroma of subtle brilliant red and white flowers. She's so beautiful, Discord murmured his breath, in awe as he watched her, in such sort of trance. He simply couldn't take his eyes off her, no matter how hard he tried, for he even tried to glance at the other side of the clearing. Her brilliant, gleaming mane of pink would lean his eyes back to her. Her face was the kind of perfection that sculptors can dream of, as her features were all but wildest cassette and royal marble. Her radiant and gentle eyes complement her beauty in a way that no mare can ever rival. Everything about her screamed excellence to him, from her bright coat to her gently turned wings. I'll tell her one of these days just how beautiful she is, how stunning she is with breeze, at the sunlight's the creature reached to himself, as he continued to stare, even every thought in his mind centered on her. I know. Discord watched the mare for some time, as she appreciated the nature around her, enjoying every wistful second he was blessed with to rest in her raggedness. Finally, after spending enough time on Lassie, she turned right and paced out of the clearing. He merely sighed as she left, leaving him with the same striking look that he was always met with. Oh, one of these days, he muttered as he stared up at the tree-covered sky. There were only a few gaps in the forest coverage, allowing just small glimpses of the bright blue sky above. Oh, who am I kidding? With a mercy, he rolled the tree, racing to a nearby pond for water. Several fish darted about as he approached, no doubt recalling as his frightening appearance. I'm just stared at his direction for a few minutes, fully taking the creature that he continued to grasp the eyes watched her. Truly, that was the only word to describe beasts such as him. His body, unnaturally long and slim, the edges of limbs were pieced together like some sort of a patchwork armada. The narrated hooves stretched in were the place of a lion's paw and an eagle's tail, and his hind legs were that of a goat and a lizard. Instead of having a simple unicorn horn on his head, he was instead given a deer antler and a goat horn. Finally, his commission, mismatched purples, set in the large seas of yellow over his eyes. Discord stared at it for some time before finally pulling the string in disgust. No pony had ever liked the pong of happiness or delight. Instead, they were pilled and sickened that such a creature existed. That's why I'm here, he muttered quietly to himself as he moved away from the sickening infection, far away from the uncaring world where I belong. With a heavy sigh, he leaned against a tree and buried his face in his arm. If only she could look past my appearance. Only if she could see the real caring person that I am. The pony in particular he had been memorized, but went by the name of Celestia, a name befitting of one of such efforts and confident beauty. For months now, she had come to the forest. Ever since first seeing him, he'd been caught in trance. But a weary sailor answered the siren call. He was ensnared by her beauty, and endured to think of her day and night. His only replace was her weekly visits, which always put a blissful smile on his Hetty's face. Finally, having enough of such dim thoughts, he hurried out the clearing and disappeared in the forest. Oh, honey, these flowers are so beautiful. Where in Christian did you get them? Oh, on a lowly mountain in the market was selling them, but the only beauty is nothing compared to yours. Discord sighed as he watched the two unicorns smile and giggle between waiting in the kiss. Time and time again, he was happy couples. He saw happy couples such as these, and all it did was make him renown for Christian even more. The very edge of the evergreen forest was much tamer from the rest, so honeymooners and lovers alike would often speak hours, and his travels near for near. The stallion smiled at his lips, parted from hers, and each shared a passionate moment as they met. They stared into each other's eyes for some time, before resuming their romance and expression of love. And finally, having enough, Discord turned away from his perch and growled in annoyance. Why cannot happen to me? Why am I stuck like this, trapped in my feminine body? He questioned as he distanced himself in the cuddle. It's not fair. However, as he vanished into his own idea, came to mind, served by the touching scene which he just witnessed. Flowers. Flowers. Again he muttered under his breath as hope was right across his lips. Maybe that might show a question, that she might actually walk past his hideous body line. As he fought, as the more hopeful Discord grew. With the shadowy thoughts, he watched through the forest towards the clearing. Celestia has been near her hours ago. She might be different than the rest, he grinned. Maybe she isn't as shallow as all those other ponies. She might actually even come in love with me. After just a few moments, Discord stared to a halt into the clearing, finding it just as empty as the rest of the woods. With a smile and stretch from ear to ear, he hurried over to the flowers. Alien rare, as taking interest in him. They were a thing of wonder, with large white petals and shakes away, staring towards an orange center. The yellow was seemingly artfully smell, strongly valiant. They could easily rival in the finest perfumes that Canterlot had to offer. Being happier and more hopeful that he could ever remember, Discord towards the bright sky and grinned. I'll do it. I'll tell Crescia my feelings for her, and I'll finally tell her just how beautiful she is. And there you are, sister. Where have you been? A dark unicorn questioned the father's white mare as she entered her estate. Just relaxing, that's all, responded hastily to her sister as she passed across the western room. It was extreme low forest and decorated estate, with added wet carpets lining the floors, and very priceless paintings covering walls. While it wasn't as lavish as the royal palace, they were far better off than most island gardens. Bill, Mother has been looking everywhere for you. You simply must stop sudden disappearances, her sister snapped back, unhappy at her apparent lack of care in the whole deal. Crescia turned to a dark coat mare with a scowl. I'll deal with it, Luna. Stop pestering me. Luna groaned in reply. She hated how her sister constantly ordered her around, even if she was the only one. She simply thought she was entitled to do through her beauty. Well, Luna was blessed with many attractive features. She had never been able to vie with the half of her sisters. Crescia sneered at her sister, but her sister was left speechless. Turning away from my annoying mare, she left the room and began the search for her father. Crescia laid back at the clearing the next week. After his usually grazing and praising she went. Though this time, this squirrel did something different. As soon as she exited the clearing, he leaped from a tree, chased her into the woods. Crunched his eagle paw was a beautiful bouquet of flowers he had picked, and with intense ecstasy and worry, he followed her. Thanks to his body, he could easily duck and conceal himself behind the trees, giving the alicorn no chance of catching on to him. After a few minutes, she reached the edge of the forest, where the vest and the sea lied. He had came to this area a few times to raise up the mighty waves, as they crashed upon the pale sand, and then retreat back into the massive body of water. He was awestruck as she paced onto the beach. Her ankle remained floating gently in the white breeze, just past her seat the sun, as they continued their descent downwards. Its waves emanated from water, and it gave effect to Crescia herself was shining. I need to do it, right now, before she leaves. His whole body trembled, afraid of the confession that was about to take place. A few worried thoughts raced through his mind, but he pushed them away. As he looked at the fires in his paw, the head is sliding his knife, Discord stepped out of the forest and approached the mare on the beach. He took slow, take a few steps at first, as his body tried all of its might to delay him, to just push back. This moment, a little farther, but he knew better than to hesitate. This was the moment where he would declare his love to Crescia. With his eyes clenched shut, his entire body shaking, he took a final step, and he stood a mere foot from behind her. Crescia, he was